Hi everyone, it's Tanya and Paul, and in this part of in this video we are going to do some frontline stuff, some extension work. So extension is when the spine goes backwards, and for most people we need a little bit of extension because we've got like text neck and computers and driving and all that kind of stuff, so we really want to open up the chest. So the first thing is I'm just going to start with some upper back work, and then I'm going to move down. So if you have weights or bottles of water, you can put them in your hands, or don't worry about the weights, so you don't necessarily have to have them. So in that position, the legs can either be parallel, so that's in line with your hips, or you can have them wide and turned out. So turned out is when the toes are pointing outwards. Now if you find you're quite stiff in the hips, the turned out is probably going to be a little bit more comfortable for you. So again, there's no right or wrong way to lie. It's going to depend on your body. So we want to try and get away from that is how it looks. You know, we all have different bodies, and that's what we need to cater for. So from here, if you are a lady that has got lots upstairs, you might want to use a block or a pillow under your head. Otherwise, the neck alignment, you'll be hanging down a little bit and you won't be able to breathe. So just adding a block gives that neck a little bit of height. But as Paul hasn't got a big chest.
Got a big nose.
Oh, you know what they say about men with big noses?
It's not true, whatever you say.
So, we're going to pull the belly button in. So think of just lifting the belly button away from the mat as though you've got a little ladybird walking underneath there. So now what I want you to do is pull your shoulder blades together as though you're trying to get your shoulder blades to touch your spine. So we're really contracting these muscles in between the shoulder blades. They're called rhomboids. Now let your head float up without activating your bums. Okay? So it's really going to limit how high up you can come, but that's really focusing on strengthening this upper back part. Now lift your hands and reach your hands towards your feet. So by reaching the hands down towards the feet, it's going to help these shoulders to pull away from these ears, because these muscles up here, they want to do everything, and they're not designed to do everything, but they will if you don't control them. And then relax down. One of the hardest things, this is just an excuse to touch his bum, one of the hardest things is to keep those glutes switched off. So you can put your feet inwards as well. If your toes in will help some of these muscles to turn off. So belly buttons, shoulder blades, hands, head. So when you start to lift the head, keep the chin slightly down to keep this long. Otherwise you'll end up crooking your neck like that. Okay? This is the area you won't need to focus on. It fatigues very quickly for a lot of people. Just make sure those are soft. And especially if you can relax down, especially if you're a woman and you have big bosoms or you have that kind of driving thing, over the years, this gets very affected in the upper back. So we need to keep it strong so that when you're older, you have that nice tall posture. So I'm going to start to make this a little bit more harder for Paul. We'll just add a little bit. So if you have your legs turn out, or parallel, whichever one is suitable for you. So belly button, so pull that in. Draw the shoulders, blades into your back, lift the hands, float the head up. Now we're going to start to engage these glutes. So we're going to squeeze our booties as much as we can, reach your legs away, and then point. You want to almost imagine that you're pulling the leg out of the hip. And see how high you can bring your chest. And you're sending the hands to the feet and reaching and reaching and reaching. The crown of the head is going that way. And then relax down. Quite hard to breathe when you're in front line, so I don't really cue the breath. It's just like get your air in however you must. So tummy away from the mat, pull the shoulder blades in together, kiss the spine, lift the hands, float the head, squeezing the bum, reaching the legs away. Now most people's bums don't work as hard as they should, so I'm going to challenge Paul's glutes here. How hard can you squeeze your bum? So how high can you lift your legs? Now because Paul's quite high, that's going to be very restrictive. So one way he can get the legs a bit high is just to drop down on the body a little bit. But that is massive on the bum cheeks. And then relax. Good. So We're going to do one more like that, and we're going to add in one little arm thing, and then we're going to do a little arm series in front line, okay? So we're just going to do one last one, Paul. So belly button, shoulder blades, hands, head, bums, legs, thighs. Like I said, most people need extra glute work. So now I want you to lift your hands as high up to the ceiling as you can, and how close to your hands can you bring them together? That is, get this tricep. Bingo wings, that one, big one. And then relax down. So while Paul just has a little rest before we do the next one. The next one, instead of coming up so high, we're going to stay low. So we want the chest to stay on the floor. So the more of your body that's touching the mat, the more anchored down you're going to be, because we're going to be using those arms. So we're trying to avoid any swinging around. So we're going to come up the same way, but we're staying low. We're going to do 10 pulses up and down with our arms. Then we're going to turn them facing the body 10, and then we're going to turn them towards the floor 10 up and down. Now the whole idea of that is to keep the body as still as you can, so that your body's not flinging around. So you've got to activate all the muscles in your body. And basically, it's just the arm moving inside of the shoulder socket, which is what we're after. So there's only one of these, but of course you can do more if you want to. So we're ready? You know what you're doing?
Got a clue?
Nothing new there then. So belly button, shoulder blades, hands, head, squeeze your bum, reach your legs away. So stay lower in that part because it's more about length. Now we're going to pulse the arms up and down 10 times. Without anything else moving. What do you want?
8,
9, 10. Now turn your palms facing the body and 10 in and out that way. 10 of those without moving the body. You've done 10, and now palms facing the floor. 10 up and down. By the time you get that one, you can feel your triceps working. And then once you're done, you can relax down. So I'm going to also show you a nice little stretch. So Paul, if you put your weights down and take yourself very gently and calmly into child pose. So child pose or rest pose, you can have knees wide or there. So because we've just worked the triceps, a nice way to stretch is if you make prayer hands and put your prayer hands at the back of your head. That gives you a really good stretch in that part where you've just been working. So if you can get into that position, then that's a nice little stretch. And that is all for this little section in extension with some hand weights and shoulder stability. So hope you found that useful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to all our videos. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.